sex sells. If you brought this formula to China, you would mint money. But a show like Magic Mike is highly illegal in China. Yet a Chinese male dance troupe is making an absolute fortune. The detractors accuse the show of being softcore porn. But the government's official response bluntly stated the show was fully approved and completely legal. What's up guys, I'm Jamie, a Chinese immigrant who lives in Canada. Today, I'm going to talk about the difference in the business of male sex appeal between the West and China. Back in 2012, when Magic Mike first came out, I totally skipped it. That same year, I left China for the first time to study in the UK. My Chinese classmates, clearly in the same boat as first-time expats, dragged me to a show. They sold it to me as a classic British musical. And I thought, great, must see for my UK trip. Next thing I know, I'm sitting in a tiny circus tent packed with maybe 50 people, watching this highly cultural performance. It was my first time seeing bodies of another race up close like that. Honestly, I still remember how physically uncomfortable it made me. My friendship with those Chinese classmates ended the second the music stopped. Fast forward to 2023, Magic Mike's Last Dance comes out, and I finally paid attention. I started getting live show clips on my Instagram feed. In late 2024, I was on vacation in London and decided to see the live show. I showed up looking like a total tourist and grabbed a last-minute corner seat. The venue was small, 2 levels, maybe a 300-person capacity. After I sat down, a very good-looking server handed me a drink menu. This menu was a revelation. It had exactly 2 languages. English on the left, simplified Chinese on the right. That tells you a massive chunk of their audience is from mainland China. I asked the server and he confirmed it. He said they get tons of Chinese women. They always book the front rows and love interacting with the dancers. Sometimes, Chinese groups just buy out the entire theater. Magic Mike tours all over the world. They even come here to Canada, but they never go to China. Why ignore such a massive market? Before I explain the reason, let me introduce you to the Chinese equivalent, 公狗剧场. Founded in late 2019, this dance troupe officially blew up in mid-2025. The format is strikingly similar to Magic Mike. It delivers massive emotional value to the audience. I mean female audience. They perform in grand theaters, holding thousands with tickets ranging from 180 to 880 RMB. Reportedly, the top-tier tickets sell out in 30 seconds flat. To give you an idea of the demand, last year, their national tour ran 600 shows. This year, they are scaling up to 2,000. Their marketing strategy is a direct copy of the Magic Mike playbook. While traditional shows strictly limit photos to the curtain call, their production actively encouraged the audience to film the entire performance. Public opinions in China is severely polarized. The detractors accuse the show of being softcore porn. The government's official response bluntly stated the show was fully approved and completely legal. First, you need to know that strip shows are illegal in China. Magic Mike dancers engage in simulated sex and physical contact that would never pass Chinese censorship. 公狗剧场 adapt perfectly to the local market. The dancers perform shirtless, wearing loose trousers that do not accentuate their anatomy. And audience interaction is strictly limited to holding hands and a kiss on the back of the hand.
Can I touch?
No.
Under Chinese regulations, this is entirely legal. Second, both shows execute a brilliant piece of product psychology. The name Magic Mike does not immediately scream strip club. It sounds like a magician. In Chinese, 公狗 is mildly derogatory. It specifically means a large, uncastrated, powerful male dog. In a society heavily shaped by male chauvinism, where female desire is systematically suppressed, men branding themselves as male dogs hands women the exact same power trip. You might think, hey Jamie, this Gongo show is basically just a foreplay compared to Magic Mike. In terms of format, yes, but the psychological dynamic and the underlying market logic are identical. It is all about sexual power. Finally, both shows separate themselves from cheap pornography by maintaining strict artistic standards. The Magic Mike cast have serious technical chops. Some of them sing and play the piano. Their soundtrack relies heavily on driving beats, perfectly mirroring the atmosphere of an exclusive private party in the West. The Gongo dancers are all formal dance academy graduates. They execute highly difficult routines and showcase their technical skills during the curtain call. Their musical strategy is equally calculated. This year's 探春分 Signing Spring Breeze series heavily features neo-Chinese music. This is wildly popular new genre in China that splices traditional folk instruments with heavy bass lines. Furthermore, the founder forces them to hit the gym daily. Since typical academy dancers are skinny and building real mass takes time, most of these guys still only have a lean aesthetic since the troupe only blew up a year ago. It is no secret that China transitioned from millennia-old feudal system directly into a modern male-dominated society. Women have historically operated at a disadvantage. Factor in invisible social pressures ranging from ancient obedience codes to the modern suppression of female desire, and most Chinese women learned to bury their primal animal instincts when dating. Instead, material wealth became the primary metric for male value: property, cars, annual salary. Historically, very few Chinese men prioritized personal grooming or physical fitness. The visual gap between an ordinary man on the street and a male celebrity was staggering. For the average woman, encountering a young, muscular, well-defined male body like those in the 公狗剧场was practically impossible in daily life. Even male celebrities often skipped the gym, as they only needed an aesthetic face to monetize their fame. Therefore, the market for ordinary women wanting to consume young, vibrant, and aesthetic male bodies was a massive blank space. Furthermore, under China's historical patriarchy, women were conditioned to appear obedient. This created the distorted Western stereotype of the submissive Chinese woman. That narrative has fundamentally fractured in recent years. In the past, couples trapped in loveless marriages would maintain the facade just to survive socially. Today, the younger generation normalizes divorce, and the stigma of a divorced woman losing her value is rapidly exiting the historical stage. As a result, an increasing number of women are finally confronting and embracing their actual desires. If the previous generation paid for material security to perform happiness for the public eye, today's young women focus ruthlessly on their internal satisfaction. They care far less about external judgment, making them highly willing to pay for pure emotional value. Now you might be thinking, Jamie, so Western shows like Magic Mike still cannot enter China? No. In my view, they absolutely can. They just need to cut the heavy sexual innuendos Those shirtless, denim-clad Western men would still capture a massive market in China. Do not forget, a single theater in China holds over 1,000 people. That is more than 10 times the capacity of a typical overseas venue. Is that ROI not tempting enough? Equally, China's 公狗剧场 could absolutely find a market abroad. They would just need to tweak the performance format slightly. After all, Love and Deep Space, a Chinese-made dating simulation game, has already blown up globally. I'm Jamie, a Chinese immigrant living in Canada, taking you deep into Chinese culture. See you next time.